The Yamaha Verago has been around a number of years. Even with the new styling, it may seem outdated by other cruisers now, but it's still a favourite no-fuss bike. The spec sheet is nothing to write home about. 45 bhp won't rip your arms off, but gives enough power to cope with most situations. Its long-term popularity is probably due to being a really user-friendly and well-balanced machine. Even with a pillion rider, the steering still feels positive. You don't lose control of the front wheel, unlike some other machines in its class. As you can probably tell, I've had a brilliant, beautiful ride on the Virago. Well, I bought it second-hand, so I've got a few optional extras that you don't usually get as standard. I've got a nice backrest here with a rack. Also, I'm sure this doesn't come as standard, a solid back wheel here. And the V-twin, single exhaust, and this one is actually a dummy. I've been riding about, this one is stone cold, but it helps to maintain the classic design of a cruiser. It's brilliant. And at the front here, on the disc brake, I've got a gorgeous chrome cover. So it looks like I've saved myself a few pennies by getting second-hand because I've got a few optional extras. So what do you get on the Virago as standard? Well, you get a single disc brake at the front, nice drum brake at the back, just the one speedo with no rev counter, and the usual warning lights, high beam, neutral, turn. At a glance you can see what you're doing there. Some nice swept-back bars, which gives a really nice, comfortable riding position. Okay, it's no Harley Davidson. Even the sound of the Virago is like a kitten in comparison. But when it comes to street cred, it can still hold its own in the looks department. It's not the most agile of machines when it comes to twisty country lanes. If that's what you're after, buy a sports bike. The 182 kilogram Virago handles well when commuting through town, and on long journeys you'll have an easygoing, comfortable ride. Okay, it's a standard bike. It hasn't got all the gadgets and gizmos that a lot of people like, but it does the job for me. I've got a 250-mile drive to go and see my folks. This bike will cope with that no problem. It's also going to be a comfortable ride when I'm commuting through traffic in town. It's a low-maintenance bike. It's a shaft drive, so no more lubricating the chain or making sure your belt's still up to scratch. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for £2,000 you could do a lot worse.
I think we can assume that Sara is quite keen on Yamaha's Verago.